Okay, now that you've completed basic arrhythmia, welcome to advanced arrhythmia 2019. Again, my name is Leif Tobler. Been an ICU nurse for about 10 years. We're going to build upon the foundation that we started with. We're going to add in a lot of additional rhythms on top of what you've already done, and even delve deeper with a few of them that we touched on in the previous class. So here we go. Standard disclosure statement. The planners, presenters involved with this and this nursing education activity have no conflicts of interest, no extra kickbacks or anything like that. I am just doing this to help make all of you better at your jobs and hopefully add another tool to your toolbox. I'd like to give a special thanks while I have the floor here. Thank you to all the telemetry techs over the years who've saved rhythms for me because they've been unique or fun or challenging. And nurses as well. Lots and lots of nurses. I'll just come to my desk and they're just, hey, here's a rhythm for you with a sticky note attached. I've collected those, and that's what I've actually integrated into this lecture here, so you can see what real life looks like, because I think that's an important component to this. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone. I can't even list all of the folks who've done that for me. Wouldn't have this presentation without them. I also want to thank the education department at my hospital, Mary Lanning Healthcare. They've helped me keep organized, on track, and help distribute this information to the rest of the staff. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Throughout this lecture, I've got a mix of sources that I've used throughout this, and this is kind of a compilation of what I've gathered throughout the years, honestly. The primary one that I've used for this is going to be the Wall Raven. That's what I learned from originally, basic arrhythmia class, and many of the diagrams came from there. Additional on top of that, you'll see some diagrams that came from this book as well. It's absolutely fantastic, and this will really help a lot when it comes to the 12 lead portion of the class. Another one which a lot of folks have looked at for decades now is Rapid Interpretation of EKGs. That's that classic orange book. And last but not least is Up to Date. This has been a fantastic resource as I put this lecture together. It has the most up-to-date information. It's written at a physician level. It's like a rabbit hole. You'll dig really, really deep and learn more about rhythms than you ever thought you could possibly know. So all my information I took was current as of January 2019. Okay, so with advanced arrhythmias, the things that we're going to focus on is going to be deepening your understanding of the electrical activity of the heart and the waveforms that are created, because the more you understand, the more complicated it gets. I'm going to expand your list beyond what we did in basic arrhythmia. I will touch on a few of them that you had done before, kind of delve a little bit deeper with them, but moreover, I'm going to add to your repertoire, give you more and more rhythms to choose from, because that's going to help you identify the most accurate answer for what you see on the strip. We're going to subclassify them: origin, conduction, talk about prognosis a little bit deeper. Interpretation is going to be the biggest part of this class, though. It's going to be using that systematic approach to really tease apart what's going on. And then last but not least is identify the arrhythmias that are actually misinterpreted a lot of time. It's not surprising that a number of rhythms look very, very similar, and it's using that systematic approach that's going to help you pick them apart and figure out exactly what's going on. All right, so here's your organization of the lecture. This will stand, there's A and P to start with, then we'll go through the rhythms themselves. Pacemakers will go at the end, and of course there's your online test after everything's all said and done. Now each section is broken down. I'll start with the atria, sinus node, AV junction, which are essentially the same. And then you've got your ventricles as the next section. We'll focus on the bundle branches within that. And then last but not least is pacemakers. Even within all of this section, I'll talk about what's normal for that area. Then we'll dig into what a single ectopic beat may look like, followed by multiple ectopic beats, and how that can actually become organized continuous rhythms, or arrhythmias in the case where it's not natural. So as part of advanced arrhythmia, we're going to move beyond what was covered in the previous class and dig into some more interesting things that you may see. We'll talk about U waves, escape beats, aberrancy. We'll talk about sinus arrhythmia, atrial rhythms, which is not to be confused with sinus rhythms, multifocal atrial rhythms. Then we'll get into the junctionals. So we'll do, this isn't even specifically atria, but we've got our AV junction. And we'll talk about junctional escape, accelerated, junctional tach. We'll dig deeper into SVT as it relates to these. In terms of our blocks, we'll add a couple more, and it's going to be sinus block versus sinus arrest. And then finally, your ventricles. You'll have your PVCs. We'll talk about idioventricular rhythm, ventricular standstill, and then we'll do a little bit more with our pacemakers as well.